Imagine this person waiting for the elevator with a wheelchair user and a visually impaired person, looking around at the gang and going, just using the disability card today because why not? Let's just get wild on a Tuesday, you know what I mean? Chances are the only use out of that prop cane is going to be when the other two team up and whack them in the kneecaps for making light of their disabilities, giving them a real reason to be able to indefinitely use that elevator. Let this be a lesson to you all. Be careful what you wish for and don't romanticize someone else's hindrances to be quirky. Hey Girl Scout, what's shakin'? How have you been? I personally have been holed up in my bed, waiting for that inevitable bout of the big bad C-19 to pass and thinking about the Florida sunshine I had been lucky enough to soak up only 1 week prior. I'm finally better now, and I'm ready to get back into watching cringe and passing it on to you so we can all support each other through it. We're starting strong because today I am sponsored, baby! Be sure to watch on and see who was awesome enough to work with me today, and be sure to give them love so we can continue reaching these huge milestones. I have big plans for the channel now that everything is back to normal, and I'm excited for us to hit that 100K that I'm hoping to achieve by the end of the month. So please be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're here to stay and help me get that elusive silver play button. Anyways, enough of my chit chat and let's just jump right into what you're all here for. And yes, we are starting strong with yet another fake disorder cringe video today because I know you've all missed it. So let's see what the TikTok kids have been up to in my absence.
Diejenige, die organisiert ist, die aufräumt, die total gerne putzt und ja. Hi, hallo, ich bin der Benny. Ich bin der Benny und ich bin 3 Jahre alt. Ich durfte nicht aufnehmen, aber jetzt habe ich auch ein Video gemacht. Ich mag Autos und ich mag Nähte und das ist ja das.
Somehow, I've always pictured the fake disorder cringe side of TikTok as Americans with too much time on their hands after school and no hobbies because the anime they're into is caught up with the manga and they have to wait years for the next arc. But like a plague or a pandemic of some sort, 2022 is the year of super spreading, and no country is safe from harm. I don't speak much German, but I will use my extensive knowledge of the language to address this video. 9. Just 9. Hagrid is an appropriate name for that dog because just like in the Harry Potter series, he is in charge of magical creatures. Ones of brilliantly colored hair that dissociate by will with no need to ground, and ones who miraculously feel no shame in blatantly faking a switch on camera, and ones who claim to be 3 years old and yet know how to make a TikTok. Creatures of fiction that do not exist outside of a children's or weirdly attached adult's fantasy. We're really faking stutters woven into our lies of fake DID now too? 10 points from Gryffindor, and please, someone get me a butterbeer so I can try and forget what I just saw. Let's expecto patronum that nightmare back into Lupin's wardrobe of horror and move on to the next one.
So a couple of weeks ago, we were at the grocery store shopping for somebody else, trying to earn enough money to shop for ourselves. And one of my littles saw a stuffy that they loved. And I went over to look at this thing, and it was like $30, and we don't have $30. And if we did have it, we would spend it on clothes, because we currently own 2 pairs of pants and 1 exceptionally tattered bra. So, like, we would buy clothes with that money. So we couldn't get the stuffy, and the littles screamed about it for a solid week. They were not happy. And today we were back at the same store trying to get enough money to eat this week, and I heard the 7-year-old little say to the 5-year-old little, "Now remember, when we get in there, we gotta be nice and strong and not sad, because even though we love that stuffy so much, we don't have enough money for it, and our grown-ups are trying to get us food to eat, so we gotta help them out by being strong kiddos." Oh no! That's not how kids are supposed to feel.
Now, I'm no financial advisor, but perhaps getting off TikTok and stopping these elaborate DID roleplay altars would save you hours of time in which you could be making money to buy all the tutus you want. Or, as another TikTok you posted talking about the money you made off of indirectly begging for money shows, making these embarrassing ploys for attention actually gets you donations. Although at the cost of your dignity and empathy for those actually suffering from DID. You get what you want. But I ask you, what is worth more? your pride, or a few dollars thrown at you by other people who morally think it's okay to tear down the vulnerable for a social platform. I know I would rather work my ass off and make money through showcasing my talents rather than sacrifice what matters to me. And I know I would rather keep to myself and find happiness in my own personal hobbies than give up those for easy clout by making trendy, unfulfilling content where I fake tics or something. In fact, instead of wasting time making mental illnesses a personality trait and faking disorders on social media, I think these people should be investing their hours into developing new talents and skills to share with the world instead. I even have the perfect way for them to do this, because today's video is sponsored by Skillshare. Surprise! Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for anyone who loves learning and wants to explore their creativity and learn new skills. From business growth to prioritizing your wellness, Skillshare has it all. I personally have been wanting to hone in on my mental and physical health, so I explored classes on building a meal plan best for my workout routine, a few on self-care, and even threw in a meditation course because why not? I now have a flat full of supplements, greens, and lean protein and a morning routine involving mindfulness, stretching, and me time. I had a blast learning tons of new things, and it was so easy to use and navigate. It's ad-free, so you can stay in the zone while exploring new skills. There's new premium classes launched every week, and every video is available with a variety of subtitles so that every member can learn in their preferred language. So what are you waiting for? The first 1,000 people to join using my link will get 1 month free of Skillshare so that they can find classes to enhance their personal growth, improve their businesses, or jumpstart their self-care routines. So be sure to check it out, link in the description, and if you do, please tell me what classes you're taking and how it helped you in the comments below. And now, back to the video. Yes, because it is everyone else's responsibility to manage your emotions and rid the internet of anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. Not your own, to avoid places that trigger you and to get the help you need to be able to function in a society that will inevitably throw negative things your way. It's almost like some symptoms are easy for a lot of people, both neurodivergent and neurotypical, to relate to. Because fakers post videos with a lot of vague statements of things that every single human being will experience at least once in their lives. Like, have you ever cried? I cry and have borderline personality disorder, so if you've cried, you probably have it too. You get stressed over big events like me? You must have an anxiety disorder because no one else could possibly ever feel anxious from time to time. I bet you once felt dread in starting an assignment too, you depressed MF. If criticism affects you this much that comments make you break down, you should not be exposing your vulnerable self online for people to openly criticize. Because, like it or not, posting something publicly gives everyone a chance to say whatever they want to you. Believe me, people always have something to say. Even if you aren't faking, if you aren't confident enough in yourself to know that, even amidst comments from others saying you are, don't go posting mental health TikToks and opening that door in the first place. And a hard truth of the matter is that if you decide not to seek help for your issues, that is on you. If you truly don't think you're faking, then go and do something about it and get the help you need. Don't rely on validation from others or base your worth on other people and their validation they receive from others. And don't imply that you're going to harm yourself and try to guilt others when they don't give you the reaction you want. You'll quickly learn just how little the world is willing to cater to you in a way that will definitely leave a lasting impact on your self-esteem. Recognize that your mental health is your responsibility and your responsibility only, and do whatever you need to do to get that in check.
People keep on acting like they are very worried about me and my system transitioning to a non-binary body. And they say, what if you transition to this non-binary body and then one day you decide to fuse, and after you fuse you realize that you're actually a cis girl? Then okay, first of all, in that situation we would just detransition. It would suck, but we would just detransition. Second of all, my earliest childhood memory is being like 10 years old and putting on a bra for the first time and crying because I was never going to get to feel my real chest again. And you think that somehow magically if we fused, we would just be like, poof, you're cis now. Come on, honey.
I wanted to end on this one, not to pick on this specific person, but because this particular video stuck out to me as extremely harmful, and one to end on to ease off of the joking and into my usual spiel of why this is a serious issue. The casual reference to detransitioning was worrying, especially considering this person's influence in this fake disorder community. As though, once this is all said and done, the game can be ended and life can continue on as though this phase never happened. Put it all behind you and grow up. Ignore the guilt of using others' illnesses as a personality trait, find yourself, and simply forget you ever faked having an array of alters with different genders and experimented with HRT. Except, taking life-altering hormones that permanently affect your body, especially before becoming a full adult, means you will never go back to the way you were before taking them. That is a permanent, huge decision to make. This person deciding to take them and transition for their alter's sake, even though they as the host identify as a woman, is extremely damaging. And I don't think they truly understand the repercussions doing this will have on their body. To make this statement in such a casual way, posting this on a TikTok followed by many children faking the disorder promotes a message that they can commit to the lie, change their bodies and play with hormones to match their alter of the day, and it'll all be in good fun. So not only are we seeing these mental illness fakers, but we're seeing them now experiment with hormones, medication meant for illnesses they do not have, which when taken as needed can help, but can also produce side effects and shouldn't be taken unless the consequences are understood, and other dangerous behaviors. I worry how far they'll go. What if they get bored of Tourette's and OCD and instead decide to fake body integrity identity disorder and try to cut off limbs to prove they have it? What if they believe they have ADHD and take a friend's Adderall, which then interacts with their antidepressant and causes serotonin syndrome, and they end up in the hospital seizing and their families and doctors have no idea why? It's a dangerous game to tell young people they can self-diagnose with these disorders and then they can look up medication and treatment options online and try to self-medicate to ease their believed symptoms. They need the guidance of professionals, not only because their symptoms could be the result of something else entirely than what they choose to think, but also because depending on their history, treatment will vary. And my fear is this trend will get worse before it gets better, and I don't want to see someone hurt before we all decide enough is enough. So I'm deciding now. Well, 2022 was supposed to be the beacon of hope, and yet here we are facing disappointment in the form of fakers yet again. I feel like I'm smashing my head against a brick wall every time I say this, but I just can't understand how people don't see wearing an illness as a badge of honor as something shameful and disgusting. For a lot of kids spouting bullshit about privilege, they sure seem to be full of it to have no idea why what they're doing is wrong. To not suffer the effects of the things they appropriate and then to lecture others on why they should pity them feels surreal in a way. I guess at least I have things to make content on in the meantime until they get bored. Anyways, if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We are so close to 100k and I really want to get there by the end of the month, so help a gal out. Be sure to follow my socials to keep up with me and chat with me. I always love popping into the Discord server to say hello, and definitely hit the notification bell so you can be informed whenever I post new content. Once again, huge thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Be sure to check out that link in the description to try your hand at some cool new learning opportunities, and that's all from me. Hope you all have an amazing day, and I shall see you all in the next video. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Thanks for watching.